Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Cassill and welcome to Asynchronous Week 7 with hybrids starting the week right before spring break. I knew that I needed a little bit of time to get ready to go. So you have independent freedom to complete your work this week. I'm available for office hours anytime you might need. I'm still going to be working during school hours, but I'm going to be working on getting our classroom ready to go for hybrid when the seniors come back, not this week, but the week after. All right. So let me walk you through what your lessons are this week. All right. I've got some serious lag on my end of the computer too, so I'm really hoping it doesn't affect this actual video. So here we go. So first, feel free to schedule office hours if you need to. Some of you have done that. Please make sure you show up if you do. On Monday and Tuesday, you've got a couple of simple, straightforward assignments. In a lot of ways, this unit is flowing the way things should without overlapping the weekend. You've got a little do now getting started. This is a really fun simulation. It's called Gravity Lab. There's a let's play of me doing it. So for those of you who just want to hear the sound of my voice more than you already do, there's a video of me playing through it and showing you how to work through the simulation and make some stuff happen. But the actual lab is right here, and it's this great, neat little right here. Create your universe, Gravity Lab. And you'll see from the video, you'll be able to get started making things go, and you're going to try to make a solar system. That's what you're doing as you go through this. As you play this particular game, little bits of information will pop up. Your goal is to achieve a stable orbit, and then pay attention to the facts that come up while you try. Once you do, you can save a GIF of your working solar system, and then your job in the discussion is to post it and then answer this question about your particular solar system. All right, and then look through and click like or for your favorite, and it can be your own. So I posted one as a sample with my little explanation just to get everybody going. All right, so that's your first one that's there. So you know what, Baba Shaniqua is going to click like. Yeah. So that's what you're doing first. First thing, we're going to kind of play around with this idea of gravity, and we're looking at big stuff now. We're not talking about the acceleration of gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared on the surface of planet Earth. We're talking about how does the sun hold the Earth in orbit and a whole bunch of other stuff. There's a lot of force out there. How's that work? So you've got a bunch of flipping physics this week. Since I won't be hosting a class, some of what's covered here is what we would have covered in notes and examples this week. So that's really important for you to be able to go through and do those, all right? The third thing is your Khan Academy, just like usual. Some of these questions are a little trickier than before, mostly because there's a lot of big numbers, because they're planets and things, and really, really tiny numbers, because there's a constant in this equation for universal gravitation. So use your calculator well. Practice your scientific notation rules. Relook at how to do exponents, and then ask for help if you need help, right? On Wednesday and Thursday, you've got this gravity lab. This is a simulation lab also, because I don't have a lab kit of planets to send home with you. So this simulation asks you to examine some really specific data about orbits. You're actually going to measure some things and look at how much orbits are affected by mass and velocity and radius. Okay. Friday, your quiz includes a little video, and you're actually going to need to apply the physics from this week. So I would imagine that next week we'll revisit this quiz. We'll take a look at it and talk about it together probably. But this is really the sort of a tricky application of these ideas from this week. You can retake it more than one time, I believe. Yeah, but it's one that I do have to grade, so it's not going to auto score for you and tell you what you got until I get a chance to grade. Additionally, there's an extra credit assignment. There is a guy called Henry Cavendish who was an English rich dude, but he devoted his life to science, and he's got several critical discoveries in the history of science to his name. One of them is he's the first person to accurately weigh the world. And I looked all around for like a documentary that covered his life in a more interesting way, and there isn't one. And which is really sad because he's a really interesting guy, and he did really fascinating and amazing things. So there's a reading that's here, literally from an 8th grade science book. So it's not a miserable read. In fact, it's quite entertaining, and it's also very short. So there's a reading assignment and then a question that you'll turn in. It's not a discussion. I get to grade it privately. Right? So that's these are your tasks for this week. These are some big ideas to cover without having your teacher confirm that you're doing it right. So check in with each other, reach out to me and ask for help, and then then I'll see you all next week. All right? Please let me know if you've got questions, and have a wonderful, wonderful week without me.